Hello, and welcome back to the Triforce Tactics Podcast. I'm not going to say what episode it is. I have no idea. What I do know is that episode one.
Season 2, episode 1. Exactly. Yeah, that.
Been over a year of Triforce Tactics content. We like to do a little bit of a break. And this is the first podcast, mind you, where the three of us have met each other in person post-podcast. So, or post-podcast, post-last podcast, because last one was at TC2, I think, right? Am I crazy? It's been a bit.
Yeah. You are not crazy, yeah.
Okay, it's been a little bit. We took a big break. We're feeling a little rejuvenated. We have the GOAT himself with us today. We'll introduce him in a second. But I'm your host, SpicyAppies. Welcome back. It's great to be back. Joining my co-hosts, Riley and RamKev, if you want to. I almost said Riley and Jirachy.
We're actually Riley and RamKev today.
There you go.
First episode, I'm down for us to be normal, and then the rest of the fucking season, we can go all over the fucking place.
Appreciate that.
And AMDE, you haven't been here for the running joke of who is RamKev and who is Riley and who is Appies swaps week to week. There's some weeks we're all RamKev.
Oh, okay.
I think most weeks we're all RamKev, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At least some part of us is that. I think some part of me is always RamKev, to be honest. But it might have been a little bit there. But we have AMDE with us this week, who is fresh off a mid-set dub, god of TFT himself, rocking the coolest headset I think I've ever seen. How you doing?
Yeah, it's lit up.
Well, hey, lit. First of all, a lot of people probably don't know me, but I'm AMDE. He, him pronouns for mid-set. I don't know. Like, I think going in, I feel like, I think we should start at like 6.5 because 6.5 I started playing like a lot of TFT. It was like my last year in school. Last year in school, I didn't do much school. I played a lot of TFT though. And, I started like just building up a lot of confidence, like playing a lot of ladder and like really feeling like I could, play at a high level. So I wanted to just continue that and like take some momentum and play in Set7, and do pretty well. So I took grinding pretty seriously. I knew I had time to grind for tournaments and just play a lot of games and get a lot of reps in before like Astral Cup, Jade Cup. And I think that I was pretty well prepared going into those tournaments. And before mid-set, obviously, like, you go into a field that tough, like, you never, like, sort of expect to come out on top, but I think that enough things went right. Mortog decided to, throw down a few bones to me, and I picked them up, and, it feels really good. So,
oh, yeah. Well, we'll get into some mid-set stuff, and we'll get into kind of your background. I'll ask a couple key questions here. But before we get into that, there's a tradition. We were talking to AMDE a little bit before this, I feel like we always kind of jump the "How's your week" thing on guests, which I just realized, I think if I was on some a foreign posture, in a foreign environment, and I was asked how my week was, I'd be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know. So a little bit heads up. But anyways, my week's been great. I've just been playing the new set. We're gonna talk about the new set a lot today as well. And oh my god, fuck dragons in Set 7. Let's go dragons in Set 7.5. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah,
you get even more dragon these nuts on your face.
Yeah.
Oh my! The crazy thing. Have you ever moused over the dragon trait on PvE? Like you mouse over it and you're like, oh my god!
There's a million.
Because it's the same. Like they didn't take any dragons out, right? So
yeah,
it's
no, they
all
didn't.
of those dragons, and then
wait, what about Sugma?
5 Sugma balls. No, wait.
Never get one. Okay, then.
Yeah,
no, they didn't. They didn't take anyone out. They just added more. And now, okay, do you know there's a dragon? We'll get into this, but there's a dragon +1 prismatic augment now as well. That's insane.
Yeah,
it's absurd. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Imagine that in Set 7. Just fucking turbo grief.
Yeah, you cannot play a dragon, and you can't play a scale score.
Maybe they can make it a gray augment and be like, you get 80 gold, but +1 dragon.
Yeah.
I guess you just play Zaya. You just don't.
Isn't
play
that just windfall ×2?
That's just you play.
But your team gets weaker. Yeah, I guess then
you just play Olaf.
No, you can't play Olaf.
No, you +1 dragon though.
Oh, it adds +1 dragon. Okay, never mind. Yeah, just play Zaya.
Yeah, just play Zaya.
You just hit Dragon Alliance and then you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, That's been my week. How's your week been, Riley?
Went through a lot of mental health shit, but it's okay. I'm doing a lot better. Basically, like today and yesterday have basically been recovery days. Because I started grad school and realized a bunch of things about my mental health, and that is all the detail I'm going into. I'm okay. I've started playing TFT again. I haven't played TFT in a month because I kind of just quit Set7 because I was not having fun whatsoever, and with a lot of shit happening with the community, kind of like lost the passion for the game for a bit. But 7.5 looks like so much fucking fun. I get to play assassins.
Oh yeah, Rengar.
Yep.
You know,
Rengar is this. I have
one-
the tech. I have the Rengar tech. I'll leak it later, but yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with 7.5 so far.
Day one of PvE, I took Build Different and I played Rengar. I'm like, oh my gosh, this unit is so good with Build Different. And then I like read the ability and I was like, how long was it? 3 seconds of ×3 attack speed or some bullshit like that? And I was like, wait.
Yeah, you just giga broke.
It's not Build Different.
It's just Rengar.
Right, you're playing Hodge Rengar, you're like, oh man, this feels pretty good.
Wait, I played Hodge IE Rengar. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Hodge was also broken.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
It's going pretty well. And like,
On the first day, the first game, the first augment, I took the prismatic item grab bag and got double Hodge. That was something.
Oh my god.
The mid-set run back.
I missed it. I missed it. What was so broken about Hodge that they had
I think
to
it gave
fix?
you double of everything. Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like
God.
prismatic Hodge. It was like a radiant Hodge. Just like built,
Wait, I think
but a regular one.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I think there were
Okay.
two rumors going around. One was that it gave you double the AD and AP, and I guess maybe the healing as well. The other one was that when it gave you them, they wouldn't go away, so they'd stack forever.
Holy crap.
Those are the two rumors I heard about Hodge.
I don't
Okay,
know
so
about the
both
second
sound
one, but yeah,
broken
the
as
first one
fuck.
sounds
Yeah,
First
I
one
just
sounds-
remember
Yeah.
like somebody came into my chat and they were like, "Oh, Hodge is broken. Did you know that?" And I was like, "Oh, is it giving you double of everything?" And then they're like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing." I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much if Hodge were bugged, that's probably what it'd be doing." You know.
Yep. Yeah. How's your week been, Kevin?
Oh, it's been I've been playing some PvE. Yeah, I also took I've never taken a break. Actually, no, I took a break at the end of set 5, but I've never taken such a long break from playing TFT. Like after TC2, I just stopped playing TFT for like.
Wait, I thought I saw you streaming and playing on from your laptop one time though.
Yeah, that was this week. That was just this week because I got home because I was playing Fall Guys and Melee, and that was my stream content.
I can attest, Kevin is the best fucking Fall Guys player I've ever seen in my life. I was playing it while TFT was down for a bit, like last week or the week before. He went 3 for 3 wins in mobile
My God.
lobbies.
Jesus. I feel RamKev and I have been doing very similar things in the last month since TC2, just not
Yeah.
playing TFT, playing other shit, and now we're back
Yeah.
for PvE. Like, oh my god, I have been just spamming the fucking Pokemon map randomizers and speedrunning that. I got it down to like a standard run from what I saw so far was in the like 3.5 hour range. Got up to like 4 hours if you had to do everything. I got it down to 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh,
I'm
snap.
trying to get sub 2 hours.
Very nice.
You two
very
are just
nice.
god gamers.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? Because I'm definitely the worst gamer of the three of us. I've been listening to like a lot of zombie books lately. I've been like in the mood for like zombies post-apocalyptic stuff recently. I don't know why. Maybe it's just disparage with TFT and TFT and stuff. But now we're good. Anyways, I was thinking it'd be funny would be if like, because you know how like a lot of these zombie books are like kind of like zombie stuff in general is like kind of edgy. Like, oh yeah, this guy played shooter video games, so all of a sudden he gets thrust into a zombie room as a fucking god, right?
Mhm.
And so I was thinking, like, I want to write a book like that. But the thing is, the guy's a gamer, but he plays like mobile games. He plays like Candy Crush competitive. He's like the best Candy Crush player in the world, and he's just terrible in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
as a result.
just is trash, just trash, or
Like,
like
terrible at everything. But
they play a shit ton of gacha games. So the only thing they know how to do is like spend money to like go to It's just take a gotcha game player and have them go to like a casino or something and see what happens.
Yeah, like this parody book where like he just gets super lucky, right? Like going house to house, like he opens up a cabinet and there's like an assault rifle in it, and then and then so I feel like 10 MREs just hanging out. Like, yeah, I thought it'd be funny. Anyway, sorry, that was totally off tangent. But yeah, you two are god gamers. Maybe as much, if not less. Wait, that wasn't how that. Anyways, AMDE is also a god gamer. I was trying to get at. He won mid-set, and so because of that, I'm assuming you had a pretty good last week or so.
Yeah, last week was pretty great, honestly. I don't know, but after mid-set, like I was up, like I couldn't sleep. I was like bouncing off the walls pretty much, just like doing whatever. But I had to come into work on Monday. It was a rough Monday. It was a rough Tuesday and a rough Wednesday, but had a good week still. Like, I mean, came home and like had some energy to stream and just like play some PvE, which I thought was really awesome. Like, I think the PvE right now is like honestly really fun. Like a lot of really cool units and stuff like that. And I'm just really liking being able to play a bunch of dragons and stuff like that. So I think that the next set will be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much sums it up. I just like playing a lot of games this week.
Yeah, I remember. So I remember you were talking with, I think it was Bryce and Dan after after you won. I might be wrong. Maybe this was the day before interview, because you won day 2 in the final day, mind you. So you had 2 interviews over the course of mid-set. But I remember you saying, this is you talk about going back to work. I remember you saying that your work was like super video game friendly, and like they're giving you time off to like go do this stuff. Were they popping off for you and you got back? You're like, hell yeah, I just won a ton of money and I'm going to Worlds, and then they're all just like threw you a party, or what?
Well, I don't think the work organization themselves, or they themselves didn't like a party or anything. But like, some of my friends like came out and watched and supported me, which was really nice, and they were like congratulating me, and like so that was really cool. But
hell yeah.
So that was really awesome. But
so
I
sick.
think that yeah, like the organization was really nice just because they actually sponsor Team Dignitas. So like
really?
they're like quite gaming friendly, and like giving me time off in the first week to play video game competition is quite a thing to do. So I'm really appreciative of that.
Boomers everywhere just on their deathbed hearing that. Getting time off from work to play video games.
Yeah.
Not to pull out Zoomer lingo and say boomer, but I found out I was a Zoomer the other day. I didn't realize I was Gen Z.
Wait,
it's
Appies, how old are you?
I'm turning 24 on Monday.
Yeah, you're a Zoomer.
Yeah, I know.
You're 100% a fucking
I hate
Zoomer.
it.
Yeah.
I am on the millennial cutoff. I'm pretty sure 1996 is the cutoff. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like wait, AMDE, how old are you?
I am 21.
Okay,
Oh
you're
goodness.
a fucking Zoomer,
The
but
young
the rest
legend.
of us
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
we're in that like weird kind of like in between millennial and Gen Z, but like I'm pretty sure the 3 of us are closer to Gen Z.
I feel like so many TFT players are between like 23 and 26. I don't know why people make fun of Robin so much for being old. Like I feel like they're all just
It's because
about as
Robin's 60. That's why we make fun of him for being old. It's because he's 60 years old.
But everyone's like within 1 year of him. Like, I mean, it doesn't make that much sense to me.
We're all 59.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do I look 59,
we're all 59. I guess.
bitch.
Robin just has this very mature vibe to him, Like, he has a wisdom to him.
Yeah,
He
Doug,
also
he
has
has
an
wisdom. He's 60 years old. He's been through a lot of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, before I ask you a couple questions here, MD, looking into your background, so you have a Switch. Do you play Smash Ultimate by any chance?
No. Well,
Sorry, this is getting kind of.
okay.
I'm like looking in your house.
Okay,
right now.
so in high school, I actually like convinced my school to make a class that was called Scientific Debate. And basically, in that class, like we got an arts credit from it. So like it fulfilled my arts requirement because I didn't take any art classes prior. But in that class, all we did was pretty much just play like Switch and like do absolutely nothing. So played some Smash Ultimate there, but like I have not played in a very long time. Like we can't even get this TV working, so like we can't like play Switch here or do anything like that. But yeah, maybe I don't know. Have some people over play some Smash.
If you ever have a hankering for some Smash, just hit me up. I got you. Kevin as well. We're big Smash heads.
You all are probably way too good. You all are probably way too good. Me and my friends are just like trolling straight up.
Okay, so mid-set. Kind of I'm not gonna say elephant in the room, you talked about it a bit. But obviously, you won mid-set, you got a super, super great performance. You won day 2. I'm not sure what you placed day 1, but you won day 2. You won like decisively. I'm pretty sure you have like a pretty large point lead over second place. I'm pretty sure by the end of the final day.
A large part of that was like the +3 from day 2 though. Like so, it was really close.
The score spread though, didn't the +3 not make a difference?
The
in the final
+3
day?
did not
it didn't make a difference, but it would have been really really close. Like if it
You still would have won by 3 points.
That's insane.
You had 37 points over Bird at 31.
Sheesh.
But like, so 34 to 31 is like pretty. Still is really close though.
Still fucking nuts.
So that was I think you'd agree that was your first like really big performance in TFT, right? That was probably the thing. As a TFT is a weird ecosystem, I feel like, in terms of like acknowledging new players or like recognizing new talent. That it's very, I think this community is very reactive at recognizing new talent rather than proactive, right? It's very like I think there are a few fringe cases of this where like maybe like Bryce will scout someone out or like Gang will scout someone out as being like on the come up, right? But for the most part, like people realize someone's good after they've done something really good, right? You can even look at like me performing well at like Zon Cup or something last set or like Challenger Series, right? Kind of the same deal. Where people have now that you've won something, people look back at your playing are like, oh man, this Omni guy is a fucking beast. And then look at like Gangly, Gangly called it, and these stats for you.
I heard about
going
that.
Into this tournament, were insane. Like,
Gangly
you were like,
in his Discord and in Frodan's Discord, Frodan's Discord when AMDE started like what was it like really badly. It was
I went 7-8 on the first dude on the first.
He went 7-8, and we were just like, hey Gangly, so about that AMDE prediction, and we were like giving him shit for it. He refused to pivot because I have conditioned him well. You never fucking pivot. You ain't no bitch. And then AMDE brought it back, and then made day 2. And then won day 2, and Gangly was just like, oh my god, it's fucking time. And then AMDE won the whole thing, and Gangly was just like, y'all, I fucking called it. Suck my dick. Okay, he did not say that. That's from me, but
you've had insane stats, right? I was looking at your cam, Riley, and it looked like that water bottle moving closer to the screen was like a Roomba, like the vacuum thing on the ground. I was so confused for a second. I was like, what is going on? So you have insane stats for Set 7, right? I think you were maybe the highest performing. You had like the best stats over any competitor, I think.
Highest average placement in Set 7, I believe.
I heard something like that, but I feel like weren't there are some players that literally made day 3 in like every single one of the tournaments. Like, I feel like that stat is a little bit like misleading because like they were gonna play games like, but I mean I think
let me go find some stats.
Well, so while I was looking for those, first big question for you: what do you think? And I think this is a question that everyone will ask you. It is this is like very, I think, necessary for the situation. But what do you think it was that made you improve so much coming into Set 7 and coming into like stuff like mid-set? Like, do you feel like you can put your finger on what exactly it was prep wise or anything, or you just feel like you became a god gamer?
I think prep wise, I didn't do too many things like too much differently. More than I just did them a lot more. Like I feel like I watched a lot more streams. I took it a lot more seriously instead of just like watching for entertainment. Like I sort of like someone introduced me to watching some Chinese streams, and I don't know, I can't really understand too much. My Chinese isn't really that good, but they do some really cool stuff over there, and they have some really great ideas. So if you can like get over like the flying text on the screens and stuff like that, like that come with the Chinese streams, they're pretty educational, I think. So that's one thing I started doing more, but like also it's just like playing a lot and like taking practice more seriously, I think. And also not rolling on 6 ever, like no matter what.
Oh boy.
So I have some numbers. AMDE has a 3.5 average in 40 games, which is like tied for like the 14th most games. Like not way up there, but like respectable sample size. 65% top 4. Okay, there's some people with like 70-ish. 20% top 1, and exactly 1/8 in 40 games.
Sheesh.
I think. Oh, wait,
good.
or is it 2? It might be 2. Good. I might have no, it's 1.
That's a lot better than I remember.
Yeah, 1. This man has 1/8. This man has exactly 1/8 in 40 games. That's fucking absurd.
So a question I had for you actually. So you have stated multiple times, right, that you're the way you got into TFT, if I'm not mistaken, is that you were friends with Kivix, right? Who is maybe the most underrated TFT player of all time, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone sleeps on him.
He's too good.
He's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Kivix won mid-set in set 6, and people were leaving him off power rankings. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I thought after that mid-set, like he was like, or even like coming into that mid-set, he was for sure like a top 5 player in NA. And I think that even the 6.5, like even though a lot of things changed and like sort of a lot of reroll got killed, like he was still like one of the better players, and like he almost made day 3 of regional. So like it was, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
I didn't think that was fair.
Should have been power ranked. Like
sure, yeah, of course. Yeah. Like just like if you're using performance at all in a like as a like criteria, like for sure, like he performed in like every single tournament last set, like so. He for sure deserved that.
I think a lot of people hate using performance for like power rankings because like, oh, like small sample size and like TFT game of variance. At some point though, like over the course of a set, you have a lot of games of sample size. Like at that point, it becomes way harder to chalk everything up to just RNG. Like, okay.
I mean, I totally understand like the people who say that, but like at the same time, like a lot of the variance gets reduced, and like just watch him play. Like he's crazy. He's good. Like people just don't watch him, and they say that a lot of people are better just because they've watched them a couple of times and never watched Kivix play.
I think eye test is super important, but I think people really like underestimate like the what's like stats and like performance, like just like, oh yeah, this is the placement they got can show. Also, like Kivix winning a fucking tournament and people sleeping on that and discounting that as if like just because you win the tournament doesn't mean you're the best player in that tournament. Like the one tournament I've like broken down and like watched literally every player in finals was like the Set 6 Challenger series. Asa was probably like the 4th best player in that tournament, like 3rd or 4th, but you still have to be like a top 4 player in the tournament in order to win it. That's like you can't discount that.
Yeah. I mean, I think little sidetrack, but I mean, it is a crime that Kivix is so underrated, right? I think that's like again, there are obviously some issues with like how the TFT scene interacts with its players, and in terms of like Anyways, we'll move on from that. But I wanted to say a couple things regarding Kivix and what that might mean for prep for this tournament, or just like how you on TFT and stuff in general. Is that Kivix has one of the craziest playstyles I've ever seen in my life. Right? He finds a couple units, he thinks about board in his head, he rerolls everything, and it's fucking awesome. He like one of the he's like, I guess, true like reroll flex, if you can put it that way. And do you feel like any of that has rubbed off on you, or like how would you define your own play style if you are able to, or if you feel like you have a handle on it?
I think that the willingness to like reroll and play just I don't know, like play stuff that you don't see on stream, but like your intuition tells you like maybe can work, like definitely has rubbed off on me. I think he's someone who like one like bad thought that goes through his head and he'll just commit fully down the line, and I think that has rubbed off on me a little bit. But I think in set 7 it was more like like I don't think reroll was very good, like especially 2 or 3 cost
really
reroll.
do that in set 7.
No,
you can't reroll anything in set 7.
So I think for that it was more just like getting reps, and like I don't know, I'm someone who like if they do something like a lot more, like I can get like a little bit better, like, and the number of games that I played where I just like saved the money, rolled all my gold on 4-1, and then just like I literally did this like every single game, and like pretty much every single game of the tournament other than the games I played like the Dragonmancer and Nivea. I don't know, I think that doing that like and getting a lot of practice for that was probably the best thing for my tournament, because just doing that every single game is consistent.
Yeah. Do you feel like you were maybe with how you're talking about, do you feel like you were out of your comfort zone in set 7, or you feel like set 7 wasn't like necessarily something good for your own play style, and you still had an insane performance regardless?
I think that set 7 was relatively within my playstyle. I think that like in a lot of previous sets, I like one thing I started doing was like before I took it to like another extreme where I wouldn't roll a 6, wouldn't roll a 7, just try to go fast 8, have like 30 HP, and like just try to piece together like some like board I found on like Reddit or something like that. So, but I mean now like rolling on 7, it's like I mean first of all there's a lot more like a room for like creativity, like you can find like units that like will work that maybe like you didn't consider, like, or you'd like randomly 2-star a unit, it'll be good. Like it opens up a lot more like flexible options, and lets you like, and I think most importantly it lets you take some time to like sort of calm down and like think between the rounds, so you don't have to do like these crazy transitions or something like that. You can play toward like what you already have. So I think that has my playstyle has changed in that regard. But I'd say now it's like pretty comfort zone for me.
Yeah. So you feel like a lot of what made you better this set and just in general was like a lot of repetition. They just hammering in like maybe not the fundamentals, but like fundamentals for like a set or like things you knew were good in a set. Like constantly, you should talk about constantly rolling on 4-1 until you just know exactly what you're looking for in every spot and you know how to get there, right?
And knowing like when you can stop. I think that's one of the other things. Like I think at the beginning of the set, I was like, okay, at 4-1, we roll down to exactly 0 gold. We hold all the units on our bench and then we play. But I think that knowing like when pretty much you can just play a board that's good enough, like help me a lot and like save me a lot of gold, and like in those spots like you can play a lot more for like first and second place than like if you just roll the 0.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome. I feel like set 7 in my personal experience, it felt really hard sometimes to like identify board strengths, particularly around like level 7, right? Because will their siphon go this way? Will siphon go that way? Will Deja do the right thing? Instead, there's some fight energy things, but then also just like a lot of moving pieces in terms of identifying board strength around these dragons. And so, getting all the reps in to really drill home when you can stop rolling is so important. So that's like very, very awesome to hear.
And I think that one other thing, if I can add, is that like I think that augments like felt extremely impactful in like making these judgments. I feel like a lot of games, like I felt like, okay, if I like my first 2 augments are good and like I get a like you stop rolling, you get a third like insane augment, like your board can be set for like an extremely long time. If you get like triple cybers or like double cybers stem united, which I actually got a couple of games, like you don't need to touch the roll button for like a while. You can go 8 like on like a pretty much 1-star board with like a 3-item carry, and like that sort of recognition is, I think, something that I did like a lot of the games and helped a lot. So yeah, augments felt especially impactful in this set.
Yeah. Yep. And I think they really make or break a game, right? For sure. Just there's like a little less flexibility with them because dragons were a little more stringent than like stuff in set 6.
Yeah.
So last little question here surrounding I have for you at least surrounding mid-set, and we can talk about it more if you want to, or at least mid-set and like your competitive, kind of arc upwards. Do you have any tips or advice for anyone looking to break into the scene or looking to, start participating in these tournaments? Anything that you feel would help with, the next little Timmy turn into the next AMDE?
I mean, honestly, I like that. Honestly, I think that one of the best ways to do it is just to find someone who like is really enthusiastic and passionate about the game as well. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that are just like really nice in TFT. Like, if you can just like, ask them like, can you like help me out with some things, or like just like be on call and like talk, or if you're like at the same elo, you can like just try to get into other games and just talk about games. I think that sort of exposure helps a lot. Just like really liking the game and like really having a lot of passion for getting better, being competitive. Spending it all comes down to just spending a lot of time, like whether you're watching it or just like talking to other people, playing the game with other people. I think that the one thing, like one way you're not going to get bored of playing the game for a long time is if you have someone else to play with, like someone else to like talk through. And I think that it helps me get better by a lot. Like even if I'm just like coaching someone who just hit masters, or like players like that, I think just being around the game and like doing stuff that's not playing can also be like refreshing as well. Like just like stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know there are a lot of players in NA. I think the 2 people who, so at least one person in my mind who like really does this is Ramblin', who just like he gets so much better by not playing the game, by just watching and like experiencing the game. Right? He's in like every chat ever. And,
I was trying to be more like that these days.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I think I did the same last set. I adopted that kind of like approach to the game, and like it's definitely different person to person, right? But just engaging in the game with the game in different ways than just necessarily playing a billion games. It works for some people, right? Like with Setsko, he just plays a billion games and he's a beast. Kevin as well, he plays a billion games, he's a beast. And you have other people that's, you watch TFT, you talk to your friends about TFT. I talk to Miss Appies about TFT and she doesn't want to hear about it, but it's fine because it's so long. Talk to your cat about TFT, but like interacting with the game and a way beyond just playing the game is definitely something that can help your growth. So get a buddy, hey, this is going to be, tough for some people maybe of trying to become a pro gamer, but touch grass, meet people, talk to people. Maybe you don't necessarily need to touch grass. You can touch your keyboard to talk to people, but I'm not going to say what I was about to say about, anyways, there are different ways to engage the game. Yeah, oh yeah. Anything else anyone wanted to like really talk about regarding mid-set or about, well, we'll say anything about set 7 because, next week on, it is weird. That's just in the past.
Yeah.
Thank
goodness.
Bert is a beast. That's my other takeaway from mid-set. Like, I think there's a super clear top 4 in NA right now, and I'm pretty sure it's Pocky, Bert, Milk, and AMDE. And at A tier is not even close. Like
Pocky also popping off.
I for sure agree with Pocky Gom and what is it? Bert. Like they're just like crazy good. And Milk performed at like almost every tournament as well. So yeah,
Bert,
I'm gonna those I agree with. I'm not sure about putting myself.
I was watching you. I'm like, nah. I'm between the stats and like the eye test. I'm confident on this. I'm okay saying AMD's top 4. But like Bert and Pocky are kind of same boat of like they like had super consistent performances. Great, they have great average placements. We're the only 2 to make final lobby of all 3 tournaments so far, which is absurd. I believe they have nutty finishes. Like Bert got the 2nd in mid-set. Pocky got 4th. I believe I think Pocky got 2nd at Jade Cup as well, I want to say, and then Bert also did really well. Like they've had nuts final lobby performances in particular, which I think really puts them up there. Because like that final lobby is just the best lobby you're going to hit, even in a field of stacked players, because generally it is going to be the players that are playing the best to some extent.
I think like playing against them, it also just like felt different. Like they were just like super impressive. Like the entire I felt like there's a big difference even amongst like the top players like playing against like Pocky and Bertosaurus. Yeah, so they were just dominant, I thought.
And then I think they're a clear top 2 right now. For sure.
Yeah, I think those 2 top 2. I think it's Milk 3 and AMDE 4. Anyone who puts Milk below top 5 ever is wrong. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what his form is. I don't care if he's playing the fucking game. It's Milk. Once Milk like turns it back on and gets back into like actually playing the game, this man is the best player North America has ever seen. Like all time in tournaments, it's Milk number 1. I'm like,
Milk's a beast.
He's too good. Mm-hmm. He is an absolute fucking beast at the game, and anyone who ever discounts him is wrong. And even like this set, he hasn't been like Bert Pocky level with his player, like his performances, but he's still a fucking beast. He's still been an absolute beast this set.
I think there are 2. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead.
I was gonna say because I actually sat out on the last Don't Talk If You Don't Know ranking thing because I wasn't doing TFT at all. So I told Bryce like, nah. Just leave me off this one because if you want me to put, I would legitimately just be like, take all of the competitors, order them according to their ladder rank, and that will be the ranking.
That's the literal worst possible ranking you could give.
No.
Kevin has the best. He has the best reads though. Him and Gangly have insane reads. Who's gonna do well, who's gonna do poorly.
I had Milk as my number 1. The ranking before that one though. It was just like straight up. I was just like, this is what the 7.5 meta looks like, or this is what the set 7 meta looks like. I don't even care. I honestly, I didn't even watch him. I didn't watch him at all. I was like, I'll just put Milk up here because this is how I think the game should be played right now. And I think that he's probably going to be the best at playing it like that.
Mike, I think I was 15 on that one. And
and I was like, Appies. I watch Appies and I also know how he plays. I'm going to put him all the way down to the bottom of the list. Definitely not personal. I was like, Like, the meta is not it.
Well, here's what it is. I think there are 2 camps of players, right? There's like I think Milk is like the leader of is really good at TFT because he hates TFT camp. And then there's like the Pocky faction, which is like is really good at TFT because he loves TFT camp. And I feel like Pocky's the only person in that camp right now. Because I think in that camp, right? I think like Kevin and I are in that camp, for example. I think he's the only person who still loves set 7.
No. Pocky does not like set 7.
Pocky fucking hates set 7.
Yeah, exactly. Fun, though.
He loves TFT. He
likes tournaments. He hates the set. He actually hates the set.
Like does well because he has fun with TFT versus does well because he doesn't have fun with TFT. Well, that's what we'll do the categories. Because I think Pocky looked like he was having fun. Like 2000 said he seemed like he was having fun. He didn't like Set7. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But yeah. And then I don't know about Bert. Does Bert like TFT right now? Did he enjoy Set7?
I assume so because like he took Set 6 off, right? I think
he took all Set 6 off. Yeah.
He basically just took Set 6 off and is just back.
So did Pocky, actually.
Pocky took 6.5 off because he did super fucking well at Piltover Cup, and then from there it just kind of started dying, and then 6.5 he took off completely. That's what it was.
I mean, I just gotta take a set off, I guess. You're talking to
I basically took Set 7 off, and I am back and rejuvenated, and yeah.
Yeah, I think taking a break's important.
There's still some shit I do want to say, because I haven't really... Well, I talked about this on Twitter. I haven't gotten really a chance to talk about it on like podcast. I still have mixed feelings about... I'm kind of back to loving the game itself. Just the community and how safe I feel as a trans woman has like... It's still not it. Like, I was looking at like the Vegas meetup, and I'm looking at TwitchCon coming up. I've made an active decision to not try and attend TwitchCon because I don't because with the precedent I'll just fucking talk about it. With the precedent that now got set that you can sexually assault someone and not even get a fucking warning, I don't feel safe. I don't feel like there's like people in TFT are like, oh, seeing that and like, okay, that means I can just go fucking do whatever I want. That's like, they're not that level, but people are just going to be less careful at IRL meetups. So like the chances of something happening did just go up. So I don't feel safe going to IRL stuff anymore. And I do not feel particularly like cared for in general. And I don't want to go further than that, because if I say more, I could lose gigs. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's sad, but I understand that.
Yeah. So that's been a time.
Set7's just been a trip.
Yeah. Set7. I'm gonna say this right now. I think Set7 for like, besides AMDE winning mid-set and Rain winning Jade Cup, Set7 fucking sucked.
Rain Potion played really well all set, I think. Rain Potion.
Yeah, Rain's so good. Rain is so good at the game.
Yeah. To pivot back to less depressing stuff, I think Rain's top 10.
Yeah, I see it.
He's so good, I think.
Rain is so good at the fucking game.
Yeah. We have so many good players these days.
I know.
It's actually insane how many people are just good at the game.
I think there's so many people that are good at the game now. Soju went from continuously occupying 11 to 13. I don't think Soju's top 15 anymore.
I think he's still one of the, like, I would say he's probably like between 5 and 10 in NA, honestly. Like, still.
I think he's between 1 and 5 on ladder. I think not on ladder.
I don't know. I felt like
out of the top 15.
I didn't watch any of his his mid-set day 2 performance, but like I don't know, he seemed pretty good in day 1, and like I don't know.
It was really...
he spent a lot of time playing like games other than TFT.
Was,
so like otherwise,
maybe playing Valorant vacation mode.
Although
even playing Valorant vacation mode,
he seems very good. I think.
I still don't think he's good in tournament. I think there's enough people that have passed him at being good in tournament that he's not top 15 anymore. Also,
I mean, but just having a couple of tournaments, I'd say like I don't know. Like I feel like he's still very, very good.
I'm looking at my top 15. My top 15 doesn't include Appies, Ramblin', or like I have these like 5 players at the bottom that are just like historically good players, and it's Appies, Ramblin', Soju, Dish Soap, and Nico. Sorry, Appies. None of y'all are on my top 15 right now. So like,
in Set7, I think,
and then there's 15 more people.
I thought Dish Soap was really, really good this stuff though.
I think Dish Soap and Soju probably be on there for Set7, but
I
definitely see Ramblin' not on there for Set7.
I did not follow mid-set, so I'm just gonna real quick bring up the page to see how people did.
I'm not gonna lie, Dish Soap still has not done a single thing to prove to me he's good in tournament.
Really, I think he's had some like pretty good tournament performances.
I think he's had some great. I think he's got some good.
Like eye test
wise,
I feel like he's played really well in tournament.
But at the same time, I think like I learned a ton from watching Dish Soap this set. Like he had some really smart takes and like some really good like clean ideas that I leashed a lot out of. But I watched this stream a lot, and I think that he's really really good.
He's a good player, and he's like and I hate labeling him a fucking ladder warrior because people hate that fucking label. But I think right now Dish Soap is a ladder warrior. I think he has an incredible potential and will translate. I think he will translate to tournaments. I think it was the same thing with like Setsuko, where like we see how fucking insane he is on ladder. We can see like the hints, and I think we all knew like Setsuko was going to be a good tournament player. It just was a matter of getting there. I think Dish Soap is in the same boat, just like kind of a step behind.
Sure, I mean, but I think I remember some days where Dish Soap went like 1-1-1 in the middle of the day, and then like I don't know, maybe he like had like some less good days, but I mean, no, well, what can you say? If you just like low roll a couple of games, like you're gonna get like your ranking is gonna drop, and at the end of the day, is like a couple of days, like it's gonna be like a couple of days out of like just like 3-day tournaments that just like determine your placement, right? Like or like if you're moving on to the next day, if you have one bad day, like you're all of a sudden cut off for like a couple of days. So I don't think it's overall that fair, but like I mean I get the idea that like you're just trying to say that the results aren't all there, but I mean I think that it's some of the results definitely are there. Like if you look for them.
I'm just not convinced yet. Also, I'm going to pull up some fucking numbers. Dish Soap has a 4.5 average in set 7 in 34 games. That's actually pretty bad when like a lot of the good players that were like or around the bottom of top 15 have like 4.1s, 4.2s. Like even Appies has a 4.2 average. And that's like, and Dish Soap is like
even
I also
Appies.
played a lot less games.
Even Appies.
Sag.
And
even Appies time.
And Dish Soap is playing a lot. And Dish Soap isn't playing like weekend ones. I think like some people's stats get boosted a little bit by they play like weekend one in Astral and Jade Cup. I think as Pocky, I'm not using this to discount how good Pocky is. Pocky's numbers have gotten padded a tiny bit by he's played weekend ones. He's still a fucking beast, but that's just something that exists. Dish Soap has been playing like quality lobbies and is still not. He's doing like fine. I'm not saying Dish Soap is bad, but like when we're considering top 15 players in the server, I don't think fine cuts it.
I think that's the thing with TFT too, right? Is that like I think opinions will always differ a lot because people have different opinions on the eye. Because I think a lot of it has to come down to you can't be fully results oriented, but you also can't be not at all results oriented, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And so it's like a mix of both, and people will take different things from the eye test, and will read stats different ways. So
for me, also like when I haven't been watching as much, I'm definitely like looking a bit more into results. So I'm like, take my opinion with a grain of fucking
I think across
salt,
the board, like I feel like the analysts
yeah.
are a little bit more on the results oriented side.
Yeah, I think the opposite. I think like the analysts range between like super results oriented to a pretty good mix of results and eye test. I think Bryce and Frodan have like the best mix of those two, like as analysts.
Yeah.
I think all the players are so like ladder and don't give a flying fuck about results. Like whenever I see like player power rankings, I'm like, so this is wrong.
I feel like the two like big ends of the spectrum there is like I feel like Gangli's like all data stuff, and then Bryce is like very eye test. In my mind.
Yeah.
And I think they're both great analysts at the same. They're both have very good reads on who's going to do well, who's going to do poorly. So both methods work. And that's the thing with TFT ranking is that like it's crazy. And a game with variance, like it is so hard to rank people.
For sure.
I think you can say
for me, I'm like I feel like how I do like the power rankings, it's a mix of results and history. Like beyond just like the set results. There's the reason I will never put Milk below top 5, and even then like rarely below top 3 is because of his fucking history. A lot of my top 15 is based on Socks I still have. I'm gonna need to change this. Socks I like just running things down, doing it real quick. I put Socks at 5. That's probably gonna change, but like Socks' history just cannot fucking ignore, and he had a killer performance at Astral Cup, and okay performances in Jade and Mid-Set, which is why I think I need to change it. But you cannot ignore his history. I think
man.
Wait,
Sox is the win that I called, right?
Oh yeah. You said Sox is the best player on that patch, I think. And then he won
that's the same one where I forgot that Ramble. Right? I left out like a bunch of players from that list.
No, it is.
Oh man,
you're prophetic in like the same way a Ouija board is prophetic. But it's just like coincidence.
Yeah, it just worked out. Yeah.
Oh my god, I knew it all along.
like you pick Kevin up, you shake him, you say, "Who will win this?"
I'll say, I also like Asa because it's like recent history and he's still playing well in set 7, and then Robin, like he's playing good. Actually pretty well this set, but I have him super high up because also of his history, because he's so fucking solid competitively. Like that man is insane. That like you and
hasn't he made final days of regionals like 3 sets in a row now?
I think so. I think he made has he made every single regionals final day? Because
he was definitely there in set. Oh man, I remember he was not having a good time in set 4 final lobby though. I remember that lobby.
let me check if he was in set 6 finals. Hold on, pulling up Wikipedia. He was in set 6 finals. Even having set 6, I think for Robin was like a little bit of an offset, and he still made finals at regionals. And I want to say he has been in literally every final lobby of regionals.
It's the old man.
That's
wisdom.
Insane.
What about set 3 though? I don't even remember. What was he competing with? Who?
He was competing with Obo.
Wait. Has he actually? Robin is just like the true. Robin should just be number 1. I guess Milk maybe. And like historically, right? Like it's like Milk, Sox, Robin are just like the 3 gods of NATFT.
It just feels to me there's so many ways of ranking players, and ranking is just so hard. Ranking players is so hard.
It's way too hard.
The thing is, when you rank players, it's like as time goes along, it's more so you're giving them a weight of like, all right, you got freaking there are 8 people in the lobby. This guy's got 15% chance odds compared to like 13% chance odds. You know, and at that point, it's like
I'm down. You know what I'm down for? I'm down to invent a new type of ranking system where instead of like a list, it's like a big circle, right?
Yeah,
and there are
like a pie chart
in that circle. You're like you know,
True.
I don't know. There's got to be like some crazy way to make a list that doesn't. Like, I don't know. I feel like a list for the TFT is so.
It's, like, it's definitely not like for fighting. Like, you know, the thing about like,
MKLeo was the best open player in the world.
Like, you're like, you can't. Yeah. It was like, this guy is gonna win 50% of the time, and TFT is like, this guy will win very close to the same amount as everyone else. Just a little bit more.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think people overestimate how close it can be. I think like they're depending on like people's form and like just genuinely how good they are. Their chances are like actually like a decent amount bigger or smaller. Like
I kind of agree with that because I think I kind of agree with that because one example of this is like with the system where like you get 3, 2, 1 points like per day. Like I would have thought that would be like super duper correlated to like, you know, people's performance, but like I actually looked at it and like I didn't really believe. I think it was like Nature said it that they like tested it and it wasn't that big of a deal, and it actually doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, which was really surprising to me. So like maybe it is like more form related.
It made some small differences to reward having good form throughout the tournament, which I think is actually perfect. There are people who are like, oh, these are going to make a difference. Is them making a difference like actually a bad thing? Because like I really like that they're trying to do things that like your day 1 performance doesn't like completely stay the rest of the tournament, but it matters. It's making like being consistent across a whole weekend a lot more valuable. And
you know what I will say,
if it makes small
though,
differences, then I genuinely think that's a good thing.
What I like instead of the points carrying, maybe it's, I don't know if it's too soon to talk about it, but the new Worlds format where nobody gets eliminated day 1.
I like that too. I like that.
That's big. I like that a lot. because like you're playing at the end of the day, you're playing the same amount of games like throughout the course of the event. It's just that people will get 12 games instead of 6.
I think they announced it's 10 games. Not
10 games.
Yeah, 10.
It's
10 games.
It's 5 games per day, but still, yeah,
lit.
exactly.
Like that because I think people have been floating this idea around is like do you really need to do day one eliminate? Maybe like if the field is super big, but Worlds is like what 30. Actually,
is it 32?
They haven't released how many players. We don't even know how many people. Like 32, we don't even know how many people who are going from NA from mid-set, or from regional finals or whatever. But like, let's say like 32.
Sure.
What's another multiple of 8? 48. If there are that many players, like you can probably afford to keep those players in for the first 2 days, right? It's like not the end of the world if you don't do day one elimination. So I was when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it, and I also think that but at the same time, I think that whenever something gets eliminated from like 32 to 8. Like it also creates some like maybe some issues, but I guess if you're gonna run it from like I would prefer this like over the other thing. Like I guess it's a little bit of the same thing. Like you're cutting it twice, but
like, more games,
I just remember Set 5 Worlds, right? They had the freaking what was it play-ins for Worlds, right?
The play-ins was the worst shit they could come up with.
Spencer, he went. There were like 3 people from NA, right? And Spencer had to play in play-ins, right? He just got out day one. How many games did he play? Like
was Escher in play-ins?
Yeah, like 5 games.
Escher had to go through play-ins too. Yeah, exactly. Because he was the lowest seed from his region.
You played 5 games
when it was
against like not even the entire field, and then you're out. And it's like, well, that was your World's experience. Hope you had a great time.
Yeah, I will say I'm very glad they announced the Worlds format now and not after people have already fucking qualified and didn't know they'd have to play in fucking play-ins.
Last set when they had last chance qualifier, and we didn't even know the date until it was like 4 days before the event. It was like, oh yeah, it's now. And
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure TFT Esports has a new person in charge of them for this set, and like things already seem a lot better.
It shows, yeah.
Thank God.
I mean, okay, so basically what we've come to the conclusion of is that ranking people is hard, but competitive TFT is sick, right? I think that's a good wrap up, right? For the first part, I'm down.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll be even sicker than Set 7 competitive TFT.
If you don't have to play Set 7.
Set 7.5 competitive TFT. We've gone from dragons to newts. It's now newt land. All dragons are 1 cost.
Why did I hear that as dragons to newts? For a second.
Only half cost. You actually spend half a gold on them.
Turns out Deja was naked the whole time.
I mean, I would, but that's TOS, so like... What?
Okay, big changes in Set 7.5 though. So I think the biggest thing is dragons are still in the game. They are not newts, unfortunately, but they act more like newts. And that,
my brain can't stop.
You can now play multiple dragons. A lot of if you want to play around Siphon, you can put a soy on your board if you want. You can put a little dash of a soul in there. You can sprinkle in some Ao Shin. You can say fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna play Zippy then. Cled's Raptor new dragon thing.
Scarl,
who's not a Cavalier. And then you can play Nomsy, who is now Nomsy. Okay, actually, Blizz was in my chat the other day.
Did you know that Nomsy I only figured this out like the second day, but Nomsy gives you 2 of the trade.
Yeah. That's why Cannoneer spam on Cannoneer Nomsy is so good. Because 6 Cannoneers. But turns out, so there's lore behind Nomsy. Because now what happens with Nomsy is that instead of playing trainers to get Nomsy, you play Nomsy to get trainers. Like Tristana pops on your board or Lulu or something in the game. Apparently the lore is that she grew so big that she ate the trainers and she regurgitates them. That's the lore.
Wait,
that's the real
that's
lore.
Fucking
amazing.
That's the
lore. Yeah. Blizz was telling me about that. No, I swear. Ask Blizz. Ask more. That's the concept, at least.
I fucking believe that.
She ate them and now she's regurgitating them. So dragons you can play Zippy plus Nomsy plus Itis plus Soy plus fucking, I don't know.
You can play
Shyvana,
up to
Tyrant Swain.
5. You can play up to 5 unless you get 2 fawns or a cursed crown, and then you can play like 6.
Yeah, lots of dragons.
But it doesn't really make too much sense to play 6 because
you don't get anything. It's a trait that goes up to 5.
Get anything?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the unit is benefiting from the additional stats.
Yeah, that's true. You also get a Chad for playing 6 dragons.
Yeah.
But so not only can you play multiple dragons together, not only are they less powerful on their own. So like, Siphon 1 is less powerful than Siphon 1's last set, right? Soy 1 is less powerful than Soy 1 was last set. But so many traits got reworked, and there are so many cool traits in the game now where like, so Dragonmancer, for example, instead of being 3-6-9, it is 2-4-6-8. Ragewing, it is 2-4-6-8. I'm sure there's other traits that are like that too.
I mean, Jade is 3-5-7-9.
Yep. 3-5-7-9. And if you don't know what that means, young listener, little Timmy, waiting to be the next AMDE, you're trying to absorb the information to get ready for 7.5. What that means, there's a certain word that has not been spoken all of set 7 that can now be spoken.
Flex.
You can play.
That's true. Yeah,
flexibly.
Imagine playing fucking flexibly and not just slamming
Kevin and I can play the
assassins
game
every
again.
single fucking game.
Oh my god, let's go.
My worst nightmare.
Game again. Yeah.
I can't wait.
And not only, we talked about this at the beginning as well, but for all the Jirachy adjacent players, assassins are back. There's assassin carries.
Yeah. Also PSAs. 2 sins is no longer 5%, which it should never have been. It was fucking bullshit. It's back to 20%. Thank God.
And there's no stat,
man.
But you can't make the sin stat anymore. You can't make the sin stat anymore.
I'm kind of okay with.
Goodness, that is big.
No, that's awful.
I think it's great.
I'm okay with it because
they were
they can
nerfing
actually
normal
buff the numbers.
sins just because if you got sin spat, the unit would be so beyond broken that they were like, because like remember patch 1, the first patch of set 7, sin spat Olaf, and they had to sins down from 20 down to 5%. You can't even play if you don't have a sin spat. You shouldn't even think about playing sins, Yeah,
like, it's balanced around Olaf, I guess. Yeah.
So
like, why like the idea of having to balance sins around units that aren't actually sins is like when you try to like think about it a little bit more, and you're like, wait, that's actually dumb as hell and should never have been an issue. So I for one am really glad that they didn't do that, because I don't want fucking Nyla to be a trait bot just because Sin Olaf will kill your whole team,
So many of TFT's like problematic things have been because of Sin Spat. Kaisa in set 3, well, never mind. That wasn't a Sin Spat. That was a demo spat. I fucking lied.
Also, no, Kaisa was a Sin originally. Also, Blender was because of Blade Master spat. Yes. Was it called Blade Master? I think it was called Blade. I think it was something.
Yeah. But Assassin Fiddle in set 5. Oh my Jesus Christ!
Assassin Olaf.
And then
back
Assassin Olaf. Exactly. And then honestly, I think people fucking underestimate how broken Sin Draven was in set 6.5.
Sin Draven was broken, and whenever you can put a Sin Spat on Draven, he's really strong.
Yep. I remember when people were literally just putting him in the front of their board and just like drain tanking and like killing everything.
Like the Sin Draven was like frontline Draven, but like you don't have to worry about Draven dying, which is like crazy. Because like
I had multiple games in set 6.5. I'd be like, oh, I'm playing my Talon. I'm doing my thing. I put triple item Talon. Oh, I got a Sin Spat. Let's put it on Draven. And my single Sin Spat Draven 1 did 7.8k, and my Talon 2 would do like 4.
Yeah.
I think it's
just
so
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I think it's so telling with the most notorious Sin 1 trick in NA. It likes the fact that Sin Spat's not craftable.
I'm more than because that means the numbers are good, and I can just play the base version of 4 Sins and feel good.
Olaf either, right? Like you know, Dragon Patch is like Sinspat. Oh, I'll still make Sinspat. You know why? Boom, soy.
Yeah,
I
love
boom,
doing
siphon.
No, that's why I love doing that. Like, you just put them on all. You make like 6 Sinspats. You just put them on all the dragons, and then you have Exodia.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I will say I'm already like coming up with what the fuck to do when I do happen to get a Sinspat from like Tome or something. Like we're figuring it out.
Just put it on the dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon Sin Soy is still good. I haven't done it yet. I'm convinced Sin Jace is gonna be nuts.
Oh, it definitely will be. It definitely will be. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Jirachy, do you want to talk about your findings with Rengar Rakan?
Okay, so no, don't leak because I'm down to be able to spam this on live. I'm convinced. So like when I was testing out Rengar, I tried it first with Cav frontline because I was like, okay, Dark Flight, it gives scale scoring and like Nunu's pretty decent. It sucks. Don't play Cavs with Sins because they melt in 2 fucking seconds. Rel sucks. Rel is so
Cavs don't last long. They
Rel
really
is the
don't.
worst frontliner I've ever seen in my fucking life.
She's so bad.
She's so bad.
Okay, but actually, can we talk about how bad some of those Darkwing Shadow
Dark Flight.
They're so bad.
Dark Flight.
Have you ever tried to fight Krugs with an Aphelios? I almost lost. I had to slam a BT on my Aphelios with an IE and Cannoneer so that I wouldn't lose to Krugs. Do you know how insane that is?
Yeah, Aphelios just feels so bad.
And they nerfed his. Maybe the spell increase damage is good. Like maybe that's enough. But this last patch, they nerfed his AD, and I was like, can't you increase the spell damage and not touch the AD because this unit is so ass?
Yeah.
Oh my god, man! When I saw that, I was like, oh no. I've never lost the Krugs with 5 units.
I'll say there were some insane Dark Flight setups. Usually around like 4 if you get an emblem. Dark Soul like Crown, the prismatic one, because it gives Protector's Vow, I think is fucking insane.
Yeah,
because like 4 Protector's Vows are absurd. The like 5 ZZ Rot setups I haven't experimented with, but it sounds really good.
ZZ Rot, Asol.
But 2 Dark Flight is the most useless shit ever. What, like
so
600 health, and you get to duplicate.
Just don't go for the minus unit. If you go for the minus unit and it actually accidentally goes to Krugs, you lost. You can't do anything. Just fucking like just don't sacrifice the unit on that round.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
not worth it.
2 Dark Flight for Rel and Rengar is actually useless because none of their items overlap. Unless you're doing like a utility thing, in which case you're not carrying Rengar. Titans is okay, but I don't think Titans is best Rengar. Unless you're doing a full Dark Flight setup, you don't play.
Dark Flights, like they kind of like Titans. It's not too bad.
You can do like Sunfire Cape early, like, and it can block the entire team.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty good.
Early you can do like 2 Sunfire Capes, but I also think the sacking a unit makes it really bad. So you don't do that. You do Guardians. Because I think Rakan is turbo fucking busted, especially with Rengar. I think the tech actually played Guardians
frontline.
They
buffed Rakan.
They buffed Rakan.
Like, what's happening, man?
Because
am I crazy?
You play like the 4 Assassins plus Rakan plus either Braum or Itis, and if you play Braum, you play +1. I don't fucking know what the +1 is, but it kind of depends. I'm not sure whether Itis 1 or Braum 2 is better yet. In that setup.
So something I've had really good experiences with, like on Super Cap boards, is you run Shyvana, Jace, Itis, Rakan for like the Shapeshifter, Guardian, like 4 Rage Wing is actually so insane. You just play like anything around that. Like you just play those as your front line and then anything else. But those boards can get so good.
I have a Dark Flight experience into what I think is maybe the most busted thing right now. So I played a game of Dark Flight today. I was 8 Dark Flight. I had JG Swain. And I had Dark Flight Spat Graves, Dark Flight Spat Nyla, and I was Dark Flighting an IE, right? So everyone had an IE.
Okay.
Oh, when I lost you, yeah, it was woke. It was pretty fun. But what I lost to was no item except for I was like Protector's Vow, which is new. Frozen Heart from does not know. It's like a frontline item now, basically. Seraphine 3 with like mid board.
Seraphine is turbo busted.
Oh my!
Also,
have you seen my
my
3-star numbers? For three star numbers?
It's like a 3-star 4 cost
Dude,
number.
Yeah, it goes from 45
Yeah.
on hit damage to 150.
I played against this freaking blue buff JG, Whisper Spat, Seraphine 3 with the fucking broken ass interaction with Pantheon in front. And I had like a Shabata 2, jumped the whole team, did no fucking damage, entire team just exploded. And I was like,
Seraphine is so broken.
What the fuck?
I lost the Seraphine 3 with Xayah 3. I was playing 8 Rage Wing Xayah 3 with Declaw Shyvana. My board lasted 2 seconds.
It was bullshit.
Yeah. It was Rage Wing QSS Deathblade Xayah 3. I couldn't kill the Seraphine, just one-shot my whole board.
I think the second game of PvE I ever played, I played with Kivix. He put Zephyr. He had a Zephyr early because I think he had Star Wars Ben and he got like Zephyr, but he had 2 Zephyrs on his board. He put it on a Darkflight unit. It just Zephyred the entire team. No one did anything for 5 seconds, and then like everything just came back down and just like killed all his like important units. Like his Rengar decided to.
Isn't the issue is like if you have Zephyr on Darkflight, like your Darkflight units still fucking suck, you know?
Yeah, that's the only problem.
You know what it is? You play Darkflight with Shimmer when it's Gem and you take Ascension. And then you just go 5 Zephyrs.
Wait. What if you did Darkflight Dravens? Actually, that doesn't. No, none of those items are craftable.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. Oh, I mean, fuck.
There's gonna be some bug where you can put like Draven's Axe on something and it'll actually give the Draven's Axe.
Oh, that'd be hilarious, man.
Wait, so what else do you play on the Sin board, Josh? Is it just
a bunch of Sins?
It's 4 Sins, 2 Guardian. Okay. If you
4
get like
Sins plus Frontline,
depending on what emblems you get, you can probably play around some stuff. I played 4 Guardian. Oh my god, what's the
the Darkflight thing where you sacrifice, you get the trait, right?
No, I got that one once.
Yeah.
Shit, that's the thing. What's the gold augment that like is like the Guardian's taunts every 2 seconds?
Heroic Presence.
Heroic Presence. I had Heroic Presence on 2-1, and then the Guardian emblem, and then put that on Diana, and then just played Zac as my 7th.
Oh,
and then Sunfire Redemption Rakan. Easiest like 10 streak of my life.
That's
actually the tech. I think you actually belt start and just go for Sunfire ASAP and go for Rakan items and then whatever goes on Rengar.
So Rengar's just kind of a cleanup crew.
Yeah, Rengar's cleanup crew. Rengar, because I think the whole deal is like the other Sins do a shit ton of residual damage and Rengar like cleans them all up, and then Rakan punishes clumps super fucking hard, and then. But if you unclump, then the Sins destroy your backline. And I actually think Sins might be the best backline for Rakan because a lot of the other carries punish clumps also. Like Xayah, great in the clumps. Jace, as far as I can tell, great in the clumps. Shyvana, same deal.
And Rakan can jump to the back and like disarm units in the back.
Yeah,
as well.
and Rakan's disarm is super strong. And if you clump up, then Rakan fucks your whole team. I had someone like hard clump against me, and Rakan disarmed literally all 8 units, I think. And then just get Sunfire, you're spreading it everywhere, and just easy fight win. And so if you clump, you get fucked by Rakan, and then basically Rakan. And if you don't clump, then your backline just dies to assassins.
I think I found the single best thing in the clumps today. It's a secret tech. So anyone does not know, there is one new 8 cost. Now the 10 cost dragons are 8 costs. No one new legendary dragon out of the set named Terra. And so the tech in the clumps, it's pretty situational. But if you 3-star Terra, the whole board die.
I tried that today, but I got 3-star Shyvana instead. And it worked pretty well. Yeah. It worked pretty well too. Yeah, I beat a J3 with Dragon Mancers.
I feel like Assassin Terra could terrorize some backlines, but you can't build the Assassin Spat anymore, so that's not possible.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, before I talk about, so you can still get Assassin Spat with relative consistency because there's a new thing with Treasure Dragon. There's Order, there's normal Treasure Dragon, and now there's Order Dragons and Chaos Dragons.
Yeah, so the Chaos Dragon, one, I think you get a bunch of emblems.
Yeah, you can get emblems, you can get Ornn items, you can get like Target Dummy, which is pretty fun. And then the Order one, you get Radiant items, which is so sick because, I think you probably can't see the same rating item twice. So you can literally just
You
hit
can.
B.
You can
Oh,
still
can
see
you?
the same one twice.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like,
I haven't noticed yet, but
I don't know. I mean, I assume you can see all of them. There's also one particular shop where it's instead of radiant item, I think it gives you like 5 utility or something. Or
I think it's
like
actually the 100 gold
5
one as
normal
well.
items.
Actually,
Yeah, and it also gives you 100.
Yeah,
There's also
yeah.
one that's 100 gold.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that one's just like crazy stuff. So like you
I
can
really
more or
like
less
the
fish
dragons.
for it's super cool, super cool. So if you want Sinspat, I was watching Ramblin' the other night, and he was like, someone in chat was like why don't you use this thing because you can't get, or why don't you like do this because you can't get Sinspat or something? And he was like, well, it might be Chaos Dragon. I might get a Sinspat, and it was Chaos Dragon, and he got a Sinspat.
That's crazy.
I've never seen a chatter get I've never seen so much chatting, like the emote chatting in chat in my life.
Wait, back when, okay, so it was actually like, I watched the China stream, and we saw this like, the 9 Dragonmancer, like, Eye of the Storm Anivia take off, and KMX was so inspired to try it. He tried hard forcing it for like 10 games in a row. One game he didn't have a spat, so he committed to rolling down all his gold on Treasure Dragon, just saving all his gold. He rolled 85 gold, found a spat, he had 1 gold left, he rolled past it, and he didn't have it anymore. It was actually a disaster.
Oh, Jesus.
no.
Yes, that was not very fun for him.
Owie.
Wait, okay. And how are you liking this set? Do you have like a favorite unit or anything yet?
Oh,
In this set? Jace.
Yeah.
It's Jace. It's Jace.
Oh,
Jace is so cool. Jace is so cool.
Anyone who doesn't know what Jace does.
Yeah, he kind of just like yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, so he's Guild Shapeshifter, and he starts out as a range unit. I don't really know why. I guess it's for the show that he starts with range units. I think it doesn't affect anything. But then he shapeshifts into melee form. He has this big stun, and then he he's like 60 or 70 mana, I think, and then he just gets like, now it's a heal instead of a shield, but it was a shield until today or tonight. And so he just like basically he heals and does a bunch of damage in a little radius, kind of like a Lilia radius, where like it does more to the person he hits, and then like a lesser amount in an area around. But he's like he's a 4-cost AP melee carry. It's freaking sick. But also like he's like Vi Riven, it feels like.
Yeah.
He's cool as hell. He's sick.
Does a ton of damage, and his shields, like, I put Archer Shield on him yesterday, and like he would just survive the entire fight. Like, he'd get down to like 1 HP, and then like cast a shield that's like 2 times his health, and then he just heal back to full with like CB. It's actually crazy. But now they changed him so he doesn't get the shield anymore. He has healing instead, so you can anti-heal him, and he's probably not as like insane anymore.
Yeah. So we've talked about Riley's favorite unit / synergy. Kevin, do you have a favorite unit so far in this set?
Let's see. I had this one game off stream.
Whoosh.
It was Evoker Spat Lux with Mage Spat Zyra. So if you know how those 2 units work, it was the most disgusting thing I think I've ever played in my life. It was so gross. I beat a Sohm 3 with this freaking bullshit combo where it's just like, you can't play the game.
I almost got that yesterday.
You can't play the game. It's about because like it works so well. Silas, you just put Silas. You 3-star your Skarner. You 3-star your Vlad. You 3-star your Lux, and then you put a freaking Zyra on the team. If there's any front to back fight, it's legitimately you auto win the matchup. It was crazy.
Yesterday,
Don't tell anybody I said this.
I saw. Okay, yesterday I had a game. I saw there was a Mage Zoe on like a stage 5 carousel, and it would have fit perfectly because I had to remove her. I could remove her. I could remove her my Zyra and get Mage Spat Zyra and then just play Zoe for 3 Mage.
Yeah.
But then, so I realized if you have Pandora's Bench, the Mage Spat will pop off and reforge before.
Yeah.
And then it was actually the biggest grade. And then, oh my god, I was so mad after that. But it's fine. It's just PvE.
Because in set 6, it wasn't Mage Spat. It was Arcanists.
Oh yeah.
So you didn't have the double cast.
Yeah.
But when you have the double cast Zyra, it's freaking bullshit. Like, I don't know if anybody remembers, like, Set 6 Zyra. Like, think about how much pain Set 6 Zyra costs.
It was so broken.
It's the same Zyra, but now she can cast twice with a mage spat.
Have you seen her base numbers? Her base numbers are insane. She has, like, I think she's
ridiculous.
Like 4 or something. Like, I'm gonna look it up actually. Her base numbers in this set they might be the same as before. But I'm pretty sure they're higher. I could be totally wrong. But either way, their numbers are insane. Like for her 2 cost, her and Lux's numbers were also
Oh
yeah,
Lux is insane too.
Also Nyla 3's numbers would be crazy if she were not bugged, which maybe she is not anymore.
Maybe they just turned Irelia, like their version of Set 6 Irelia into it, and now it has the same mana lock problem.
Yeah, I think so, because I was trying to diagnose it in the middle of the game because it happened like 3 rounds in a row. I think it had something to do with either she like was like hopping to a unit that died or something like that. Either that or like I also had a really weird fight where she just died immediately, like disappeared from the board, and I was like, I looked at the damage numbers from the enemy team and I was like counting them up because I lost the fight, and I was like, they didn't do enough damage to kill my Nyla and the rest of my board. Like, what the fuck happened? Like,
no, she probably like flew. She must have like flown onto another board and like started fighting for someone else. Like, I mean,
yeah,
probably.
So I'm looking at it. So it's. I think it got nerfed because I think it was higher before, but it's base 300 at 1 star. At 2 star, she does 400 base for the 2 seconds.
Yeah, like compare those numbers.
And Evoker's a lot more mana than Zyra, or than
how much
Scholar,
damage does the Felios do? He does like a quarter of that damage.
Yeah,
he had to fucking kill Krugs.
Well, the thing is, right? So I think the mana is the same as well as it was in Set 6, but Evoker gives a lot more mana than Scholar.
Yeah, it gives a lot. And sometimes with Namzi, you can hit 4 Evokers for free.
My favorite board in this set, my favorite board in this set is when Namzi's Evoker is just like, you just do Idis Rakan with 4 Evoker backline and Asol, like Asol Zyra dual carry. It is so
that sounds really good.
It is so broken. Oh my god.
One thing I will say is I've seen a lot of Sohm 3s actually, like a lot. And it's probably because of Lagoon, right? You get 300 stacks, you get a free Nikos.
Yeah.
I assume that's why, right?
I've seen two of them already too.
Yeah, I've seen.
Isn't 2-1 Lagoon fucking busted?
It's so good.
Oh no, it's 2-1 Lagoon is not busted. 1-4 Lagoon is busted. That's the one that's busted. Like let's.
I got a Lagoon stat, and I thought it was really good. Like, I think there are a lot of good holders for that.
Yeah.
So
like,
that can be really
Lux is really good with it. Any spellcaster, like. I remember, I mean, like, you know what the most fun thing to do is, like, when you get the creep rounds and you just figure out how you can maximize your Lagoon cast. Is like, all right, if I put in, like, 2 Malphites right now, I get 2 casts for free at the start of the round. And, like...
I remember in tourney I had a few times where I was trying to get the gem or, like, the pauldrons to pop during the wolves.
And
I just couldn't get it to
no. They die too fast. They just die too fast.
Like, I put in, like, a bunch of Nidalees and they still can't do it. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Before we start to wrap up here, I want to say what my favorite unit is. I think this is a unit that actually, I know Jirachy is playing mostly Sins, but I think Jirachy would love this unit, actually, there's 2. Terra is probably one of them because Terra's just... Terra's like my guilty pleasure right now, where Terra kind of sucks, but is like super fun and interesting.
They keep bubbling her.
And you get Triangle. It's the same place every time.
Triangle.
I think like BT Gargoyle, i.e. Terra, is actually insane. But Terra too. I think my favorite unit right now is probably like an IEJG Rageblade Zeri. Zeri is so sick, and Zeri is so. This is what I think like Riley would like. Zeri is that Zeri is super super rewarding for positioning. Right now Lux is like
let me look her up.
Free Zeri, and then like you don't position much, and Lux still just hits everyone for some reason because like it boomerangs around. Mm-hmm. But Zeri, it goes right in like it's a pretty big arc or like big thing like projectile behind when she targets, and if you target correctly, Zeri 3 with like IEJG, fucking oh my god, it like one shots backline. There's so much damage in front line with Cannoneer in. It's so
I had a double trouble Zeri game yesterday that I played. It was absurd, and like the thing is on the dragon, it just okay. So I had a 3 on 0. I think I had it was like Winsu's Hodge plus something else, and then on the treasure dragon, I got the exact same 3 items, just put them on the other Zeri. It's actually crazy.
You know
twinning.
what I forgot about is who they did bring back? They brought back Jax.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shen with it.
I
You guys
love
thought
that
Shen
version of
was
Jax.
annoying. Wait until you see this motherfucker just block all your fucking damage and stun your entire front line.
I am so happy they brought that version of Jax back because, like, I loved that unit in set 4.5, and I was wrecking everyone in stage 2 because I was like hard sweat the Jax positioning.
Oh yeah, I
and
mean,
know the front line
yeah.
could play the fucking game.
Yeah,
I think
so
in set
good.
4.5, I abused the hell out of Jax. Like,
Oh my
solo,
god,
if
same.
you know how to position solo front
Yeah.
like Jax.
I was a work one trick in set 4.5 or set
didn't-
4. So
You didn't even have to like solo frontline him because then you'd sometimes die a little too fast.
No,
but, like,
I think there were like really good ways to solo. I think like he
Yeah.
was most effective solo frontline because like I actually watched a bunch of China back in set 4.5 and like I saw it at first. Like they were like they solo frontline everything actually. They solo front like Siphoner Nasus, Garen,
That's
a
surprising,
whole bunch
actually.
of stuff.
Peppo G.
But there's
yeah, right.
yeah, but like I actually watched that and I was like, oh yeah, you can just figure out like the best way to solo frontline this unit because there were like a whole shit ton of like the way that I think about it is like circle champs is like champions where if you get a bunch of champions to like circle around them and they're all hitting them at the same time, you get a whole bunch of value out of that. Shen was not one of those champions because it doesn't matter how much fucking mana he gets or how tanky he is, like he does the same fucking thing every time, right? Like it's just based off of his auto attacks. But like, Nasus is
Wait,
one
does
of them.
Jax
They
block
also-
spells? No, right?
I don't
No, I don't.
Not
think so.
No, it's just
not all of them. But
It's just the
yeah.
auto.
Yeah.
There's some, but I think
Yeah. Jax is one of them because he has
Yeah.
the stun, right? Zac is like kind of a little bit,
They should make it like League of Legends. They should make it like League of Legends Jax, where like his stun range scales with like the number of attacks he blocks. So solo frontline just stuns the entire back. That'd be kind of crazy.
So I think there are some super cool units. I think Zeri is a good one. I mean, if everyone's interested in like some positioning puzzles, like definitely try playing some Zeri. And if you get the right angle, oh my god, you can almost always angler onto the carry somehow. And if you do it, it feels so good. Like you feel like the fucking best player in the world. Because Zeri with AP will just one shot backline. Even Zeri 2 can like do a really effective job of hitting backline. Because like you get a little bit of AP from Lagoon, like everyone like JG, maybe not Archangels, like you can go Rabadons if you wanted, just for the instant gratification of seeing a backliner pop. Like watch a Xayah 2 blow up, right?
Cannoneer feels pretty useless. Cannoneer just feels useless again, I feel like.
I mean, also because like for Cannoneer, I mean, I think Graves is like great, but like like especially Aphelios, it all comes back to
Poor Aphelios.
Fuck Aphelios, dude. Aphelios is so bad.
He was good for one day, I think, when like he could just, he could blow his load into one unit and just one shot it. But now he can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
He used to be able to do that. Now he can reduce damage. But there are so many cool units in this set. Like so many cool units. And I mean, we'll talk about set 7.5 again next week. I think, can I spoil who we're having on next week? Assuming he's. I mean, we actually haven't talked.
We haven't asked him yet.
Yeah,
this may potentially be an unpleasant surprise if he's like watching the podcast and he hears this and like, what the fuck?
DTIYDK told announced that they were trying to get Pocky when they hadn't told Pocky, so I'm down. We're trying to get Bryce next week for the after hours.
And we're gonna have an after hours podcast.
Yeah.
So.
That's kind of our like 1 year celebration because hey, we hit a year on the fucking podcast. Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah, congrats!
Thank you, and thank you for being our guest for the start of season 2, the 1 year anniversary. It could not ask for a better guest. Guest.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a good time tonight.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Riley and Kevin, for being great co-hosts as always. Thank you, Mateo, for being a great producer. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon, who we haven't been able to shout out in weeks now because obviously we've been not doing the whole podcasting.
True.
Divine Soph, Nicholas Stroh, Cloud, and Happy Paladin. Thank you very much as always, and thank you, little Timmy, for watching this.
Oh, real
this
quick,
podcast.
There was a question that was not addressed in the chat. Why is SpicyAppies the biggest gory apologist on the server? And why is he so right? I'm just gonna say it. That song slaps. You don't need to apologize for listening to that song because it fucking slaps.
I was trying to somehow avoid that, but yeah, that was a question. That song, it's okay. Haggerty loves that song. I mean,
what the fuck is this shit?
Polish,
no, the song sucks.
It slaps.
I will fully listen to it and give a proper musician opinion as the musician in the fucking
that's
call.
good content.
Next
solid
episode.
Content.
Hell yeah, that's good content. Maybe be a Patreon reward. You can hear Riley go off on why going to Gore sucks. Again, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube / listening on Spotify, etc., make sure to slap that like button, gamer. Thighs of cringe. Wow, that was hard to say.
Speaking of gamers, actually, this is completely off topic, but apparently I made it onto a Golden Guardians Melee YouTube video where I lost to PPMD's Kirby. So go check that out.
Kirby being like the worst character in Melee.
He's the second worst. He is on tier list the second worst character.
That's sick. That's goated. Go check that out too. Yeah, thank you so much everyone who's listening and watching from home. Remember to like and subscribe / whatever you do on whatever platform you're listening to. We'll start with just like and subscribe and not go to like whatever I was talking about with Braille and Morse code and stuff. We were talking about all that before. Just you assume you're using a keyboard or a phone or whatever. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week, potentially with Bryce on and have him drunk as well, potentially. So we'll see. Anyways, catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.